And it was almost as if she'd died or something like that.
So there was absolutely nobody there to support us. There was no words of comfort. Nobody at all that we could connect with.
Although we knew, not one person in that hospital said to me, "Are you aware that your daughter's got Down syndrome?"
If only they'd actually listened to us.
But I sometimes felt that amongst sort of medical staff generally, that you know, when
You always felt like we were being a little bit judgmental.
a bit judgmental because you were having a Down child somehow.
I remember ringing a doctor one night because I really wasn't very well, and I said to him, "Look, I don't know if this got anything to do with it, but the baby has Down syndrome." And he's like, "What, you're 39 years old and you're having a Downs baby?" I said, "Yeah, that's right. And are you keeping it?" I could not believe what he said to me. I said, "It is a little girl, and yes, we are keeping it."
I was in a 4-bedded bay with other women and babies, and they pulled the screens and basically just told me that Callum had Down syndrome. I was on my own, although it was nearly visiting time and my husband was on his way in. They didn't wait until my husband came. One of the things that really sticks in my mind was that they'd undressed Callum to examine him, and when they left they didn't even bother putting his clothes on. They just left him in his crib naked, and that I think that's the thing that sticks in my mind most about it. The hardest bit after that was telling my husband. That was hard because I knew he was on his way in and had to break the news to him. So.
And a doctor who we hadn't been introduced to came up and started sort of like poking and prodding at Oliver. He was checking his head and his neck and his hand and feet, and he said, "Does he look like anyone in your family?" I said, "No, he's a day old, he just looks like a baby." And I said, "Why?" Well, and he mentioned the bridge of his nose. His bridge of his nose looks a little bit flat, and he mentioned that his neck had a sort of lag in his neck, and started looking at his hands and feet. Something at the back of my mind, warning bells started ringing, and I said, "Oh, are you suggesting Down syndrome?" And he said, "Well, you know, I'm not sure. I can't be sure. Yeah, he's got sort of like the classic sort of like it's like a sort of like lag in the neck, and his hands and his feet, he's got a wider gap between this toe and that toe, and he's got a singular palmar crease, but I'm not sure." Now this is standing in the reception area of the neonatal unit. The floor just went from underneath me and I just almost collapsed, and my husband just drained of colour, and he's like, my husband says, "Is there no way you can take my wife, that she can go?" And so they did. They put me in a cupboard. They actually, it was, for want of a better word, it was like a storage cupboard. No windows, no seats, nothing, and I stood in there pacing up and down like a caged animal.
Just the treatment, that it was, you know, just like they're so sorry that she's, you know, she might as well have passed away, you know. Lady from the genetics thing, she just turned around and she went, "Oh, you've just got to accept that she's not perfect." I just said to her, no child is perfect. They're all different, you know, they all have different needs. But that was the attitude, and that's not actually a very nice attitude. I answered the phone one day to this woman that went, "Oh my God, what terrible news." And that's how she announced herself as the health visitor.
And ever since then, she has not been allowed this house.
She doesn't come in, because she said that she would come for 6 weeks until Leah had her 6-week check, and that's it. I've not had any dealings with her since that 6-week check. She wants to, but I just don't like that. I think it was the wrong way to deal with someone.
Yeah.